Hello ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be going live with Heroic NaVi. Let's just turn this down slightly because this is a bit loud. We are into the pistol round here on Overpass on the final match day of ESL Pro League. And it does look like NaVi are hinting at a bit of a fake towards the A site by taking some underpass control. But it does look like it's a ruse and that they are going to be going towards the B-bomb site, and that looks to be the better choice as the Heroic members all stuck towards the A-bomb site and now locked out of the site. But Muddy still manages to pick up one, and that's going to be Edward dropping. Simple as well. Going to be picking up one that's Snappy falling down, and Seized takes down Muddy as well. So Flamey takes down Nico and Simple takes down Yugi. So a quick first round for NaVi here. Nothing too fancy, just a quick site execute for NaVi. That leads to them picking up the first round. And I do believe only Muddy got a kill on Heroic, so he would be the only one who would be able to finance a scout, but he isn't going to be picking up one this time around at least. It is going to be Muddy with a smoke though, because of that extra $300 he pocketed from his one kill. So NaVi actually gonna be playing this force buy round really quickly. They're just gonna be taking some map control here on the A long, while the other NaVi members slowly gonna be joining them. First fight comes in, it's gonna be Flamey taking down Nico. Slight wallbang there, but did have a clear shot at the beginning. Guardian gonna be pushing in, takes down Yugi. And with that, a 5 versus 3. Seized. Watching the backlines here. And Heroic. Not quite sure if they want to try to play this. The first hand is going to be played by Muddy though. Gets a bit of damage onto Guardian. Now they're going to be pushing through the smoke in fact, and takes down Guardian, the low player. And with that, it does look like round over more or less. The CT is going to be falling back into hiding, going to be saving their guns. And in the meantime, NaVi just going to be slowly edging forward. Some of them slowly edging backwards. So now they've spotted one player. It's going to be Snappy, who is also going to be falling back. So both teams look intent on saving here. So only Seized who's out on the prowl. But it is going to be another round. A quick, clean and easy round for NaVi, as only Guardian falls and takes down. I do believe he took down Yugi. Not quite sure. I think Nico was the first kill to be picked up that round. We are going to be seeing what normally is an eco, but is not this time around. It's going to be Heroic with 3 guns saved and 3 armors saved. And Yugi and Nico going to be having to play around with some USP and no armor, so that's a bit of a struggle. So he's going to be taking some quick map control towards the B area, and it does look like the calls are quite on point here for NaVi. Once again, looks like Seized could be walking into a completely open site. But while I say that, the contrary looks to be unfolding here on A long, as the CTs are stacked inside of the toilet area. And let's actually put on some X-ray here. So this will make it all easier for Edward, who does get taken down by Muddy, and Guardian now falling back. He is going to be doing a lot of damage in fact. Flame and Guardian both taking a couple fights here, and it is going to be Simple in the back lines, pushing in. Muddy gets taken down, and Seized actually from behind, going to be picking up Valdi, and that's about it. So didn't look much harder than a standard third round, even though Heroic can't save 3 armors. But now we are getting a real match underway here. The pistol round, of course, always very important, but it is going to be Heroic who are going to be losing that, and in turn are now going to be buying up in the third round. Very pivotal round here. At least a crucial round. And And for Heroic, that first round on the board, especially on the CT side of Overpass, could be really, really nice. They are going to be just taking the fight straight up. CT's showing aggression. Actually, Nico pushing close here. And Simple is, for some odd reason, ready for that. Next level brain, 200 IQ plays. But Nico gets taken down. Simple gets traded out though by Snappy. And C's looking to regain the map control that they've lost. Snappy's still playing around this area though. And it is going to be another kind of slow round. A bit of CC aggression at the start, forced the fight. But since then, no nades have been thrown. And the only one actually making a play here is Flamey, who is going to be taken down by Yugi. So a good setup from the CTs here on short, or water. And it does look like the T's are just walking into the trap set by the Danes. Valdi going to be picking up the first, and that is C's to drop. So Guardian Edward left on the T side. Edward, oh, barely hangs on to his life there. 6 HP left on him. Gonna be taken out from the fight. Guardian, last man standing. An AK, not his usual favorite weapon, and it does look like Modi, the rifler, will win the rifle battle this time around. So, C's actually picking up a Negev here. Is that even allowed in the rule set? Yeah, he must have dropped it, right? Let's go check the spawn here. I think he accidentally bought a Negev. They are throwing it out of the map, or at least trying to. I can definitely understand why. I do believe it actually is against the rule set to, well, not buy a Negev, because you can do that by accident, but playing with a Negev in actual rounds, at least the current Negev. So that's $2,000 down the drain for Seized. Not what you want to be doing in such an important match. Mind you, NaVi, I believe, are 6th in the league currently, and Heroic 8th. And top 6 gets playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. So, a very, very important match for both teams. If Heroic manage to pick up both maps here, they are going to be throwing NaVi out of their 6th spot and going to be claiming it for themselves. At least until further notice, because we do obviously have multiple matches today, and Snappy is going to be killing off Seized. He is still playing around the water area. They seem to be quite content on having this area of the map. Edward going to be taking down Snabby. Valdi, a bit of spam through the wall here. Can he find Simple? He does, in fact. And it is now a 4 versus 3 situation. Make that a 4 versus 2 situation. Yugi picks off Edward, takes him off the map, and once again we are in a 4 versus 2 situation. I think it was Guardian and perhaps Edward before, now it's Guardian and Flamey. We'll see if the swap of the 2 riflers there will have any impact, but in fact the timer is running low and the T's decide to save. I think this is the smart call. After all, winning a 4 versus 2 like this with such low time is, yeah, near impossible. They were very far from the site. Running knives out might have not even done it for them, so do understand why they would go and save. And Guardian with that AWP, you know, he is, or at least used to be, the type of player who could really do damage, win a match on his own if he had that AWP, and he does. So we'll see if he can find his old form and hopefully pick up a kill for his team. It's actually just going to be a Russian monster here, going to be charging through the flames, and he is going to be missing his shot, but Seized quickly trades that out with the help of Flamey. So a 4 versus 4, not too bad for the terrorists. They have 2 rifles and 2 pistols, so trading out that kill is definitely favorable. As most of you might know, trading as T's in general are, well, is the favorable thing. So doing it with low guns or low buy, that's just even better. And they even regain the AWP, so they'll go over to the secondary AWP, which is Simple. And we've seen him not much recently, but at least back in the day, I guess you can say. Still a young guy, Simple. But back when he was with Liquid, he did have a tendency to pick up the AWP a lot, and did play it quite a bit. So he is going to be scouting here towards the B bomb site, seeing if he can find out anybody. But it is going to be Muddy to take the first fight. Gets a bit of info. Edward needs this kill. A crucial one. Gets it. 4 versus 3 now. 3 versus 3. Muddy quickly trades it out, but gets refragged by Simple. Yugi now up in the heavens. Gets the help of his comrade Nico. Good nade. Kobe's down onto Flamey, who's planting the bomb, and Nico trying to flash away Simple. It does work. Now Simple is going to actually take down Nico. A bit surprised with that, and a good angle from Yugi. Finds it. Second of the round. Does have a kit, but seized in this position. It's a very tough one. He does pick up a smoke, so this makes it doable. And with that smoke, Seized is going to be just peeking straight out and wins the round. Really nicely played from Seized, actually. I like that. It's usually, you know, the case where Seized probably just sits and hides, but when he hears that a smoke is thrown, you want to try to peek before the smoke blooms, because when it blooms, you obviously don't know where the guy is, so if you actually stick in the defuse, you just have to blindly spray through it, and with a Tech 9 that's probably not the best idea. And if he doesn't sit on it, he can play around the smoke, so by peeking before the smoke blooms, Seized eliminates the kind of opportunity for Yugi to outplay him. I think they didn't know that Yugi was low, so definitely seems like the smarter bet. And also, if he were to stick it and he spots him out before the smoke blooms, it's just a free frag. So, by all means, a great round by Seized. Traded out the first kill. That was very key. And then wins the 1 versus 1. Flash comes in, Nico dodges it. Flamey is taking the fight. He does actually dink up his teammate, but takes down Nico eventually. Edward also finds Yugi in the meantime. And now Snappy he's going to be running into his waiting arms here. It does appear to be the case. Who is going to have the upper hand in this duel? It is going to be Snappy. Or at least he is the guy to get the kill. With only the UMP, and obviously the UMP not a bad weapon for such a low price tag. But now they've kind of ruled out the fact that ruled out the possibility of them going B by Snappy holding the map control for so long. So they are going to be going A, and the CTs know it. It's all just going to be coming down to fights, and the CT's locked out of the site. Valde with his signature move, underhanding through a smoke. And he's going to be picking up 2 franks, in fact. So Snappy going to be getting another one, and Flamey with just a single HP. This is going to be a really tough clutch for him. 17 seconds left. 1 HP. Needs to get the bomb down. Needs to get the kills, and Valdi not going to allow him to do so. And so another round on the board for Heroic. Nicely done. Really, really key from Valdi there to just get through the smoke, get out onto the site. As long as they're locked out of the smokes, or locked out by the smokes, there's no real way that they can win that. I guess they could have tried a boost, but that generally doesn't work when the T's are a lot of players alive. It doesn't look like NaVi are going to be changing up the pace here. They have been playing pretty slow throughout this match, and they are going to be playing their their force bias slowly as well. So that's an interesting decision. I definitely am a supporter of a type of A split rush, but obviously I'm in no position to sit and tell NaVi how to play the game. There are many years of experience coming together here on the final match day of ESL Pro League, and we are going to be seeing if that is going to be paying off. It does look like the execute is locking the CTs out of the site once again, and the CTs, they are okay with just letting them get control of the site. Snappy is going to be okay with letting Edward get control of his bullet right in the face, and Guardian going to be trading out Snappy, but good flashes coming in, and as I say that, Valdi actually gets team flashed. A good flank coming in while Flamey picks up 2, and Simple got it all to do. He's got the huge flank here, and I don't think the CTs know quite yet, but it's just a matter of time. Yugi doesn't have a kit, and he's actually playing this so Simple has a chance to get out. He is out, and Mori doesn't see him because of 4x3. Simple going to be pushing in. He does take him down, and Yugi takes down Simple, but without a kit. Yeah, there is time. There should be. It's going to be close, though. It's going to be down to the last second. And if Yugi doesn't get this, I think he will, though. Just barely. He gets it. 0.2 seconds. Mori even had a kit, so Muddy's guts basically exploding out of, well, out of his body all over Yugi there. Should have kind of meant that Yugi picked up the kit. Could have just taken a few steps to the left, but obviously it was the probably better decision to just stick it there, simply because obviously he had the time, and it's a bit of a gamble if he didn't. So the kit could have easily been lost in the smoke, but a good try by Simple. 4x3 almost costing Heroic a crucial round. I'm gonna call most of the rounds today crucial because they are crucial in terms of this tournament. Muddy going to be showing that he doesn't crack under pressure. Takes down 2. Edward also with 1 and Snappy with 1, but Simple gets a kill and Snappy with another. This man is not done. 3 frags for him today. And if we take a look on the scoreboards here, Nico, the only guy who's not... I'm not sure if you can hear me right now. My stream crashed, and we're gonna be just obviously continuing on with the game. I hope you didn't miss that shot that Edward just hit, because that was actually pretty nutty. Well, not really nutty, but it was a good shot. It was a bit of a dirty shot. Nice 1D on the AWP peeking. Always good. Guardian gonna be taking down 1 and Muddy. Taking down 2, but actually ends up being visible to the AWP, and Edward in the meantime finds Nico. So Snappy 1 versus 2. I've just been singing this guy's praises. We'll see if he can actually do it once again. Needs to find 2 and Simple with the AWP. Never one that you want to run into, especially not in a clutch scenario like this. So does have a smoke. He needs to find this first kill on Edward, and will get it. So now with the smoke, might be able to, but Simple, all he needed was just seeing his elbow, and Snappy trying to work the angles there by shoulder peeking, but didn't quite get the angle right. I mean, in Snappy's defense, had Simple missed that shot, it would have been a very tough clutch. Well, it wouldn't necessarily have been a tough clutch for him to win, but it would have just put a lot of pressure on him. I think that's how Simple likes to play it, though. But if he misses that shot, he's kind of locked in the corner, and a good nade coming in from Flamey. I think he's practiced that. I saw that on Reddit somehow. Sometime. Nico going to be picking up 1. Good frag from him. He's only on 2, so picking up 1 with a low buy. Good for your confidence. And good for your team as well. The problem is, that was the only big pistol they had. Now all they do have is 1 P250, and that's on Muddy. So they're banking on the fact that NaVi are going B. And talking about banks, it looks like they are heading up to the A bomb site instead. Well, there is in fact a bank. If you didn't know, you can actually... I'm not sure if you can shoot the ATM. That's kind of outside of the map. I think you can, and it rains money. I'm not sure if you can shoot it or nade it. Yeah, that was just my girlfriend. She's leaving for the weekend. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I hope she didn't hear that. But she's gonna be lining up the smoke. They are actually gonna be... Well, they should worry about this flank, but it doesn't look like they are gonna be. Snappy with just a USP just needs to, you know, draw out the time here. Isn't able to. Might be the wiser choice to have a 2-pronged approach here. So just staying alive is good. Bounty quickly behind. And Yugi also finds 1. That's Simple. Now Snappy, and they are actually out of the sight. The NaVi players are locked out of the sight. No smoke though, but still. Guardian gonna be peeking. Bounty has the angle and a Molotov. This should seal the deal. Muddy coming in from behind. Shoots through the smoke. Does take down Guardian. Bounty will eventually. And actually a full... Well, not really a full eco. More or less though. No armors at all. And just a single Desert Eagle and a P250. So a great round by Heroic. What I like that round is actually they gamble stack on B. They put all 4 players. Since nothing is happening there and they're not hearing anything, they just kind of gamble push it, I guess you could call it. You need to get some sort of info or map control. You need to make some sort of a special play when you want to win with pistols. I have to apologize if there's noise in the background. That's just my girlfriend. Should be stopping shortly. But you kind of have to make a special play, and they did make a special play, and it paid off. A free frag from Valde and a second one. That's amazing from him and Snappy. This water control has just been worth its weight in gold for Heroic today, and I mean, if you were to ask Fallen, the SK in-game leader, he'd say that water control is very, very vital. And something that's also pretty vital is that trade, because going into a 4 vs 2 does at least give NaVi some sort of an in to the round. But Nico isn't gonna let him have a chance, or at least not 2 chances. And Edward isn't gonna get one either. But I mean, I kind of want to stress here that, you know, Heroic have actually been doing really well at playing the information game here on CT side. I think Overpass is a great map for CT sided aggression. They haven't really been caught off by any stupid pushes yet, and with this many rounds into the half, I honestly would doubt the fact that they will at all. It looks like just a full-on B rush here. Matchmaking strat is going to be slowed down by the Molotovs, but I'm sure that they're going to just go charge in as soon as the Molotovs clear. It's probably just a contact play right now. They're actually going to get a flash from Seized. I'm liking this. Buy a single flash and try to make something from it. They're going to be jumping in, and Valde takes down... oh, takes 2 bullets to the face, and they do get 2 quick frags, and a 3rd as well! Seized! The absolute madman now picks up a UMP, and Heroic left wondering what happened. They're locked out of the site once again, but Nico takes one, and look at that headshot from Simple. A bit too overzealous though, over peeking. Major no-no in a round like this, but doesn't appear to have cost his team the round just yet. Yugi going in with the CZ, he needs to land his shots. He just can't. He tries to go for the knife. Gonna be taken down Edward with the AWP instead. Has a smoke for the bomb, uses it quickly. Sticking it might be a good idea. Flamey has to be coming in. Knives, and gets Yugi, so dreams shattered for Yugi. Not gonna be getting the bomb defuse here, and a full eco with a single flash. I mean, I'm not sure if Heroic misread the economy here, or they just decided to, or at least tried to keep NaVi off the bomb site. Preferably, in my opinion, at least. I'm not trying to tell Heroic how to play the game, of course, but playing the distance game there might be a better option, simply because they are full eco, they don't have armor at all. The only thing you can really risk by playing the distance is them getting a bomb plant, and perhaps that's what they didn't want to give them. Valde gets caught out with a risky push, and this was what I felt worked well for them. This time it didn't. Valde gonna be taken down by Seized, but traded out by Snappy, who has had a phenomenal match so far. And into a 4 vs 4. Heroic has a long stack and a low player on B, so the right site to hit right now is B, and NaVi seems to have read that. But Heroic once again doing some CD-sided aggression. Muddy caught out though. And Snappy, the low HP player, going to be the single man on the bomb site here. Has to stop the charge, and he does not have either the skills or the HP. You take a pick. What he is going to be having though, or well, what Yugi is going to be having though is his AWP into the next round. If all goes well, it looks like he is going to be going for the save here. And with Nico so far away, he's wary that someone might have pushed Banana, and is on the A-bomb side already, so Nico going to be hearing this, but isn't going to be winning the fight, and this is not the type of Nico we're used to seeing on Heroic. 6-11. And losing a fight like that, I mean, without trying to, you know, make any enemies here, I feel like I can say with some certainty that Nico wasn't picked up because of his knowledge of the game. He's a young guy. What you want in a guy like that is a guy who can win his duels, and right now he hasn't had much luck. That's definitely a duel that I'd see him winning, you know, 9 times out of 10 normally, so I'm not sure what the deal is. Hopefully he'll bounce back on the second map or even the second half. 7-7 is the scoreline. And a bit of a missed nade there, gonna be blowing out the door. But they are actually gonna just, maybe it was intentional, it just looked unintentional, but they are taking water control. And another B-side execute coming in. Valde needs this kill, gets it. Another Molotov comes in, Valde plays in it. And Simple. Oh, they're just actually watching the rotations right now. Simple gonna be taking down Snappy. And Muddy takes down Seized. Flamey takes down Muddy. And all of a sudden it's a 3 versus 3 kills traded constantly. Guardian trying to clear water. The B water there. Nico on the flank gets taken out by Flamey. Now Yugi. Tough clutch to be in, and Simple is going to be taking him down. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, what Guardian was doing here. I guess they wanted to clear water, but I think there was a bit of a panic because Guardian was running here with an AWP, and then he had the bomb as well. So he went and dropped the bomb when he died. I'm not sure if there was like a deliberate plan there, or if it's just because they are a bit stressed out, but it would be understandable. This match means a lot to them, both teams. And NaVi haven't really looked all too good lately, so being a bit nervous or stressed out when playing a team like Heroic, who, I mean, at the last event, what was that? Was that DreamHack Open Tours? I do believe it was, where they ended up on last place, if I'm not mistaken. Besides that tournament, though, I feel like they've had decent showings. Springs to mind where they surprisingly got first in their group, I believe, and went straight to semis. Lost that, unfortunately. I think they lost to Astralis. I'm really bad at remembering this stuff. I just remember there was like, I think North. I feel like North. Or probably not North. I feel like it was Astralis, FaZe, Heroic, and I want to say SK. Never mind, it's not. I'm not an esports historian like Thorin, so I don't get paid to memorize stuff like that. But hopefully we'll get the game underway soon. If the break is too long, I'll just go out and put on some soothing music to please you guys. And if the break is too long, I think I'm gonna grab something to drink because my throat is actually a bit sore, which gets a bit annoying. It's kind of hard to build hype when your throat tries to cut out midway through. But I hope it's enjoyable nonetheless. It's actually been quite a while since I've casted. Last time I casted was a long time ago, but it's always something that I've loved. Normally I don't really do online casting, so this is also a bit weird for me. I only really do events. But I had the time to do some online casting today, and final match day of ESL Pro League, some really phenomenal matches. There's no way that I'm going to say no to that opportunity. And I mean, it's all good in the hood. I kind of wish, you know, like I could bring you guys more analysis. But I feel like it's been. I mean, there's always stuff to analyze, and I could sit and just analyze instead of casting, but obviously that's not what I what's in my job description here. So, I mean, it's just I find analysis incredibly interesting. Or I'm not going to use the word fun. That's a bit over the top, perhaps, but I feel like there wasn't really that much to get from this match. It does look like we are getting onwards in the second pistol here, but it was just a very slow game. The CD-sided aggression from Heroic seemed to work out really well in their favor for the majority of the time. I feel like they only got caught out that one time with Valde pushing Monster. Besides that, though, like there wasn't really much to take from this, except for the fact that NaVi played a very execute-heavy style, and that also worked out quite well for them. They got the plant down, but let's focus on this round. And the CT is actually stacking short here as a retake kind of scenario, and it does seem to be paying off. Cease gets 2 kills, and with that Kobe nade onto the bomb planner, he gets Yugi down low, but a good plan. I see the plan from Heroic here is to just get Nico to lurk into CT. With the open plan, he is going to be trying to play the bomb from here. 1 versus 4, though, going to be very tough. And honestly, a bit, I wouldn't say surprising, but just a bit unlucky that Nico is kind of having an off day, because it, you know, that play, it's not set up for him to be, you know, the star or winning the round. What they, you know, prefer is just going in, getting the bomb plant, getting a few early kills, and then getting the bomb down in a 3 versus 3, I assume, and then, you know, playing the 3 versus 3 with one guy pushing CT or maybe multiple, and playing the bomb from CT heaven. But didn't work out because the CTs were playing retake, so kind of a good counter, and seized with that nade up in heaven, dunked down on 2 players and killed off 2 players. He was even the utility player, so that was massive. I don't know why Auto Director is not gonna show us the action here. Edward removing Yugi, and Balde doing the same to Simple. So Edward actually taken out of the equation here by Muddy. Takes him down with just a P250, and Guardian takes a bit of damage here. So all the CTs rotating up on the A bomb site, but in fact Flamey is just going to be hanging around the anchor on the B bomb site. Never want to rotate early, or at least you don't want to rotate too early. Drop in of guns in shoes, and considering the fact that this is just, you know, a hard eco, more or less just a bunch of P250s, it's actually a pretty good round already from Heroic. It does look like, judging from the radar, yeah, okay, it's just going to be a B split here, trying to get the bomb plant, I would assume. If they get the kill onto Flamey, and especially if they get it with the UMP and they get a bomb plant, that would just be amazing. Muddy taken out by Seized though, quick and easy. Nico gonna be removing Flamey, Seized with 2, Snappy could kill off Seized with a bit of luck. Guardian dinked up, 18 and 13 HP. And I did say with a bit of luck he could have killed Seized. Honestly, with a bit of luck he could have won the round. And Snappy, I mean, I don't want to sit and just say the same stuff all the time, but really feel like Snappy is playing a very, very good game today. He's getting a lot of impact frags as the in-game leader as well. I mean, the game plan seems solid. The CT aggression, it's probably something that they've, you know, practiced more than mid-round calling from him. But the T's, once again, look at this call. CT's wanting to check water control, and the T's just walking out of Monster. Snappy getting caught out, takes the fight and does drop Edward quite low, but the CTs, they do know it's a B hit, and they are just going to be closing down the terrorists here. Yugi takes down Simple. Nico, potential to run A here, and both of the CTs are low, so he is going to be making his way onto the A bomb site. Could be planning for CT, and that's going to make it a really tough round for the CTs here. He is going to be planning for CT. We'll see how he plays this. It does look like he's going to be hunting for the first frag, and is unfortunately looking the wrong way right when the battle comes in. Unfortunately, because it did look like he had the idea that someone could be long, and it did look like he kind of had the idea to go and play it from long. So had Edward been playing with Flamey, or had he just been rotating through CT from B, Nico would have, well, not necessarily countered that, because it's not really a counter, but it's just, I wouldn't say outplayed either, because it's, you know, he could have outplayed him just by hiding in CT and waiting for him to come up, but would have been a bit of a gamble, but still I feel like it would have been a good risk to take, simply because you have an angle where the plant is kinda for you, so the CTs, it's obviously not the first spot that they think you are gonna be at, and you can still play the bomb, so you're kinda banking on the fact that the CTs don't just stick it on the first defuse, which most probably wouldn't in such a situation. Bit of info gathered from Seized there, jumping up, and smokes used actually quite early here for NaVi. I think it was 1 minute 33 and 2 smokes expended. One in monster, one on short. A bunch of UMPs here on Heroic leads me to believe that they value the utility, so an execute looks like it's going to be coming in. Flamey! That smoke was missed, and it does cost him. Simple picks out one, Yugi with one, and Snappy with one as well. Seized. Can the timing come in? He gets one. Gets taken out in the back though. Guardian with the AWP behind the wall of smokes, and really the only way Guardian can win this round is if someone peeks stupidly, and it seems like Guardian, he's calculating the IQ of the Heroic players mid-round here, and doesn't seem like he even believes that they're stupid enough to go for this. I mean, they could go on the hunt, and that's not a bad bet. The only problem is, money-wise, Heroic are not really set for life here. But at the same time, NaVi's money is very low, so what we're most likely going to be seeing here is NaVi buying up pistol armor. A few of them actually kind of have to do it. Guardian could drop a UMP, and he is going to be doing that. So they are probably going to be forcing down. I'm not sure if Seized, he could save 1500. Oh, he isn't actually gonna. So he's just going to be committing to this. The reason why I'd say you could kind of save 1500 is because he had the most money of all of his teammates, more or less. And if he saves 1500, then even if they lose this round and they lose the next, they do have an open in the third round. But they decide to just go for it, and I think there's a solid bet as well. Valde needs this kill and gets it. Now Edward, a bit of a long spray time there, but does get the frag in the end, and lucky timing for Seized. Flamey, he's going to be getting 2 frags in fact, and now it's all left to Simple. He's got a 1 in his name. I think that's because currently he is number 1, but also because he is the only one left on the NaVi side. Let's take a look at this, guys. Playing inside of connector. What he's hoping here is that either he can get a free frag, because that's 600 money in the bank, but also he can pick up Guardian's AWP. And timing works out in his favor. Didn't for his teammate Seized, but for Simple it did. He's going to be trying to lock the rotation from Snappy. Going to be taking the first frag. That's actually a crucial frag as well, because money-wise, as I said, Heroic, it's not like they're rich or anything, so any kill that Simple gets here is a bonus. Obviously, priority number 1, save the save the AWP. But priority number 2, if you can take someone down with him, and he takes 2 down with him, that puts a lot of strain on Heroic's economy here. So we'll see them buying up, and you have Yugi, who has to buy an AWP, and he obviously uses a lot of his money. Actually, I think he got it dropped from Modi. So Modi spends a lot of money on buying Yugi the AWP, and yeah, look at the money now. Now all they have is just, you know, 2 guys potentially being able to buy next round, and it would be a very scrappy buy. On the CT side, though, what we do have is NaVi with a scrappy buy. They have Simple with the open. I mean, Heroic, what we've seen is that they haven't really gone A long at all. So Simple is kind of hoping that he can yeah, he has a read on what's going on, or what their next move is. Snappy, a bit of lucky spray. Seized, evasive at the beginning, but later on, not so much. That's actually an interesting Molotov. I like that, because that's actually a very hard spot to clear out, and with the 2 flashes through the window, that's really good. Heroic changing up the pace now, and Edward just gets caught out completely. Modi with another one. Can he get a third? He will not. Flamey, a good assist, but unfortunately it's on his teammate. And this is this is solid calling from Heroic. I mean, what you want to be doing in a round like this. So this is obviously really hard, and it's not just you know the TV show Gamers, right? I saw a clip where Wolfie complained that his teammates just kept running into the AWP, and he said, "Stop running into the AWP's crosser." But obviously, it's not that simple, and here is simple. But basically, what I'm just trying to get to here is that a good caller recognizes that obviously the biggest threat in this round is Simple, or at least whoever is holding the AWP, and in this case it was Simple. So what you want to do is you want to find out what the AWP is playing, or at least take a guess, or work out where he's playing on the map by applying pressure on different spots. And what they did is they ended up going to the B bomb site where Simple was not. Simple didn't see a single player throughout this whole round, so him having the AWP is, you know, it doesn't really matter at all. He might as well have had a pistol. He probably would have saved if he did, but you want to play around the AWP. You want to try to dodge the AWP, and that's also what Simple, he wants to try to find out what the heroic players are. Obviously, I mean, it sounds obvious, but it's just good calling from Snappy. He's predicting where Simple is moving, and we see it here again. Simple takes the AWP over to B, place it around water. They know that, you know, water is an area that they control a lot on C side, and maybe they want to do that on C side as well. But Nico, an N instead of an H, picks up one. Valdi, Snappy, one apiece, and once again, Simple finding nothing. This saved AWP is more like a curse than a gift currently. Might find contact here on Modi, but I'm actually really liking the in-game leading on heroic right now. It's very solid fundamentals, I guess you can say. Just working the map and trying to avoid the AWP at all costs. Running into 4 pistols is almost better than running into 1 AWP, because he can obviously just take 1 shot and then rotate it off. Now Simple doesn't really have the support of his teammates, and apparently doesn't have the support of Mouse 1, but gets the flick though. That was an insane shot from him. Taken out by Valdi though. I was ready to churn out the highlights there, but Simple only with 1. I think, I mean, he could have had 2, to be fair, if he had pulled the trigger on the first one. I'm not sure if sometimes it happens, not really at the high level, but sometimes it does happen that you change away from the AWP before you press mouse 1. It's really not something that should be happening to a guy like Simple, but, and I'm saying this even though I know that Simple kind of, I'd say he seems like one of the players that gets the least affected by nerves, but it could be nerves showing that you don't pull a trigger in such a scenario. So that's obviously all just thoughts, no concrete data to back up my claims. It's not really a claim though, it's just a nice thought or whatever. I'll let you guys rate my thought. But Guardian picking up an AWP. They have to rebuy it as well because Simple died, so even more of a curse actually. If you had just, you know, played that safe, maybe taken 1 frag, he saved the AWP, they do get more economy. Instead, they work the map, and then they even end towards the bomb site where the AWP is, so they do kill him off, and yeah. All in all, just the curse of the AWP, and then eventually it even ended up costing them money that he lost it. So another slow round from heroic there. They really like to work the map. I think not Inferno. Overpass is definitely a map where you should Simple. Getting a bit of damage through the tree there. Yugi is honestly like, there are some oppers who are just insane at just wall banging all the time. Yugi is one of them. He's got the read on Simple. Not necessarily a bad move. This might be though. Guardian misses the shot and Muddy takes down C. So B-bomb side is wide open, but Flamey, lurking in the depths of the short pipe, could be able to deny the plant here, killing off the bomb, and now they have to regain it. Unfortunately for Flamey, they're coming in from both sides of this area, and they're going to be taking him down. Edward manages to connect the spray, and 2 versus 3. Not impossible. Guardian smoked off though, it's going to be hard. Good nade comes in. Good spray from Edward. Guardian with another as well, and it's Nico versus Edward. Nico has the knowledge of where Edward is. Edward charging in. Oh, great shot by Edward. Good read by him. 7 seconds on the timer. Nico either has to, you know, commit to the plant, or he has to fake the plant and then hope that Edward is charging him. It's a really hard risk to take to fake the plant in such a scenario. So Nico just going for the plant. It's all good. I mean, obviously watching this from like an outside perspective, one thing I think Nico could have maybe have done differently. I mean, it's a good shot by Edward. He's predicting him. It's you know, sort of a pre-fire. The only thing Nico could have really done is, I guess, planted the bomb and then hid in the smoke, or like played in the smoke, played behind the smoke. But I think it was fading, so a super hard round for Nico to play there. I think he got more or less the most out of it. Obviously could have won it, but as I said, not an easy round to play. And now Modi actually, I'm not sure if he's backing off here because he's aware. Yeah, he is aware that someone is or could be pushing him, but I was unsure whether or not he knew. Could have just been the case that, you know, he fell back because he wanted to rotate today, but he's staying. Does seem like he knows. So I like what they're doing right here. They're just gathering their teammates and making sure to clear this area in a manner where they could trade. If Modi tried to regain this map control by himself, if he goes and dies, no one is able to trade. So instead, they make a mid-run call. Hey, let's go together. And it looks to be a solid bet right now. As soon as any noise is made, though, I think we're going to be seeing some really quick NaVi rotates here. Sees gets the contact, and Simple is going to the B-bomb site quickly. But he might rotate. Oh, okay, here comes the execute. So execute coming in. Smoke wall once again. This time they're going to be playing in front of the smokes. Simple in the smoke, taken out by Modi. Flaming only gets one, and that's just a picture perfect execute from Heroic. Once again, you know, I think this round starts from the spawn where they say we want to end this round in a B site execute, because they've probably spotted some weaknesses in the B bomb site, or they know that they, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you could have reads from demos or whatever, but it could just be the fact that NaVi have you kind of know that they have a tendency to late round play 3 guys on A bomb site. That they're kind of gamble stacking or stacking late round more towards that bomb site. Edward finding value here, but I think it's a call from spawn. You know, let's end off this round with a B side execute. And what they just do is they work the map. They use the utility really nicely. They pick the right side again, and they even go with the execute, but they go in, you know, they actually go in so slow and methodically that it almost got to the point where Simple rotates down, and Caesar's just spotted like 2 or 3 guys, but it's almost like Simple should start rotating back. Like, if they had waited 5 more seconds with the execute, he might have actually, you know, done that, because they only had the contact on 2 players or so, and, you know, it's hard to know what's happening on the map. Snappy, not a fool though, knows what's happening around the map, and all that's happening right now is just Snappy removing heads. Nico with 2 of his own. Heroic in the lead, and we're nearing match point, so really vital from Heroic. And NaVi, they need to work out some stuff here. They need to work out how to play this map. Well, not how to play this map, but how to play it against Heroic, I guess you could say, because right now Heroic, they are reading the stacks and just mid-round calling NaVi to shreds. But at the same time, they also just have a good understanding of what needs to be done late round. Mid round, they're just taking map control, and they're really not getting punished. That's what you want from an AWPer on Overpass usually. Like, try to pressure mid, try to pressure long, maybe take a peek in underground. I don't think we've seen that at all, actually. I mean, Simple tried it, the rounds that he saved and all, but we haven't really seen it from Guardian, and we haven't really seen Heroic go A long at all. Now, I'm not saying that you can entirely base a call from NaVi off of that, but what worked well, and I'm just gonna stress this fact again, what I feel like worked really well for Heroic was the CT sided aggression when they played CT. So we haven't really seen much of that from NaVi. We saw it from Flamey pushing monster, but he just gave up the map control or the info immediately. It was a good decision, not saying that, but it's just maybe they need to Yugi with a good frag here. Hold on to that thought. And Flamey with one, with two good headshots, finding a third as well, and Yugi takes him out. Flamey and more flames. Molotov goes in, lands on the side. Snappy, about to be smoked out. Guardian though really needs to land that shot. Does seem like his confidence might be quite low. Edward and Simple work together. Yugi, not an impossible round, especially not for a player of his caliber. Oh, he's heard this. This is a free frag. Yeah, he knows. Yugi takes down Simple. He knows the last is an AWP. Yeah. Look at the utility usage here from Yugi. Unfortunately, the flash is a bit too far, so Guardian can dodge it. If he hadn't dodged it, he could have crossed, and that would have made sense. He could have also just peeked on that flash. Yugi could have peeked on his flash, or like taken an angle on Guardian and waited for him to make the move. But I'm not saying that was a bad play. It's just unfortunately the flash was a bit off. But we need to see Guardian peeking, and we are seeing Guardian peek here, but gets nothing from it. Gets flashed off. I think honestly mid on CT Overpass, there's really no reason to peek it, honestly. I mean, a lot of teams do it. I don't think it's necessarily bad because you kind of keep the T's on their toes. The problem is that every team has a default on this map where you pre-flash mid, so you need to dodge that flash and then peek. And if you dodge the flash and then peek, sometimes the T's can already have ran past, and it's just, I think it's yeah, I kind of dislike it. I think taking the up to underground, that's nice. There's a lot of ways you can peek B, or you can play some setups with the AWP. They are playing a setup with the AWP though. It does appear to be the case. We see Simple here up close, and then we have Guardian all the way back. Simple picking up one, gets traded out. I'm not sure it was the right choice to commit to that fight. If he just had gotten the first frag, then Guardian could be holding the angle. There's no smoke there, there's no flashes, and Guardian likely gets the second frag. He does anyway because he doesn't really care about smokes. Guardian needs to find his fine sit. Snappy out of the equation, and a third from Guardian. Almost the fourth, but muddy. Huge round by Guardian. Beautiful stuff. We need to see him, picking up the speed here. Some nice shots, and sometimes, I'm obviously not at the level of these guys, but as an open myself, I know the feeling of having a bad game and having that one round where it just seems like your shots connect. You get a kill through the smoke. It's nice. You get a kill where you can only see the top of a guy's head. It's also a pretty good shot, and then he gets a flick, and then if he landed the fourth, I'm pretty sure we would have seen him spiral out of control for the rest of this half. Some CT aggression, and we've been lacking this from NaVi. Unfortunately, it's not going to be working out. Simple. I'm liking this play. Sits inside of the smoke, and they are not going to be clearing him. Edward taken out. Simple with one. Needs a second. Does not get it. Oh, and now onto the shoulders of Guardian. Kobe nade. Dunk. Only 8 damage, actually. Is smoked out. Bit of a gap in the smoke, though. We can play this. Good flashes. I'm liking this. This is definitely doable. I don't think they know the Guardian is ward already. Yugi is there with the angle. He is going to be catching out Guardian. But he played it so quickly. He could have actually almost caught out Yugi with a flash if he had played it slightly quicker. But now NaVi, what are you going to do? I mean, they are actually going to be forcing this, because I think that's a bit of a risk to take. It would have been, you can take 2 bad buys where you force it up with pistols and UMPs, or you could get 1 good buy. I'm not saying that one way is better than the other. I have full respect for this kind of buy, but I mean the AWP, they haven't really gotten a lot from the AWP, so I guess it makes sense. It's almost like the UMPs are the ones that are paying off the most, and they are going to be actually playing, like contesting the underpass. I'm liking this because it's it's a quick rotation for both the CTs and the Ts, of course. It's usually the case. Having control of this area is really good. Modi going to be faking towards B, and the CTs, are they going to budge? They're not moving from the setup, and that's because C just has a lot of info. So Edward now is going to be playing some info on long. He's maybe peek. Well, they don't have a flash, so he's just going to peek dry. But now the CTs, they have a good idea that it's going to be an A side hit, and that's all from the info that Edward got. So now 3 CTs rotating through, and they are going to be on the A bomb site. So big fight going to be coming in, and Valde with the first. Edward trades it out though, and now it's all up to the next kill, more or less. A great shot from Modi, snappy with one as well, and Modi seized, and Modi and Nico. So 15-14 in favor of Heroic here on DE Overpass. And if you've just joined, and if you haven't taken a look at the standings, if I'm not mistaken, NaVi are currently 6th and Heroic are 8th. And obviously if some other matches have ended, this could have changed. I'm not entirely sure. But just before this match started, I do believe Heroic was 8th and NaVi 6th. So top 6 gets playoffs. If Heroic beats NaVi on both maps today, so Overpass here and the other map that we're going to be seeing after, they take their spot and they are in playoffs, except if someone else gets some points. So a good opening from Modi. It's key. A second from him. Beautiful stuff. Very, very key. And now 3 versus 5. NaVi, what are you going to do about this? Simple. Usually the man you look to when it looks the most dire. And grabs the UMP. Is he even going to play it? He's not a bad Deagle player. Definitely not. But Guardian playing on the A-bomb side alone, and it seems like the Ts are going to be making their way downtown. Walking fast is simple. At least there are 2 guys on the A-bomb side now, but this is just... I mean, in such a scenario here, it's almost like it should be gamble stacking. He's getting a lot of info. They hear smokes on A side. Yeah. Flashes for his teammates. They really need to make something magical here. Guardian with 1, Sybil with 1, and seized 1 versus 3. He's a good player, but I think... I mean, even if I was at Starbucks and ordered a Venci, I would say this was too tall of an order. But it is going to be Heroic picking up seized in 1 versus 3. Oh, the 3 versus 1. That's seized. Doesn't look too happy. So 16-14 for Heroic, and I mean, I just said it again, of course, but a very, very important match for both teams. It does actually have a big impact on who has the opportunity to make playoffs. So now that Heroic took the first map, it just makes the second map the more interesting and the more important. So what you're going to be seeing from me now is I'm going to just remove the volume here. I'm going to go to a break. I'm going to put on some soothing music. I'm going to grab something to drink. We're going to wait for the second map of the best of 2 here. So thank you so much for watching, and yeah, stay tuned. I'll see you in the second map.